When people picture retirement, they think of beaches or golf communities, maybe Arizona, maybe Southern California. But Boise? It's rarely the first place someone imagines until they visit. And then suddenly Boise becomes the top contender. It's calmer, it's cleaner, it's friendlier, and honestly, just easier. Before we get into the reasons why, I want to know if you could retire anywhere, what matters most? Would it be climate or cost of living, community, or access to nature? Drop it in the comments. I love seeing what matters most to people stepping into this next chapter of their life. Reason number one why people might move to Boise in retirement, it's affordable and it has a manageable lifestyle, especially if you're moving into retirement on a fixed income. Finding a place where you can stretch your dollar matters more than ever, and this is where Boise shines. Compared to surrounding West Coast states, our utilities are lower, insurance costs are less, and everyday expenses like groceries and personal services are noticeably more manageable. I always tell people to do a thorough cost comparison across any state that they're considering, especially when it comes to taxes and how your retirement income will be affected. I mean, everyone's financial picture is different, but what consistently stands out in Boise is this combination: lower cost of living, less crowding, easier infrastructure, easy access to service, and no constant fight for parking or navigating endless city congestion. That simplicity, it translates directly to the quality of life. Retirees tell me all the time, my quality of life went up while my expenses went down. And that's what you want when you're planning the next chapter of your life. You want comfort and freedom and financial peace of mind. Now, reason number two people look to Boise, well, it's safety and community values, and that emotional shifts that finally push people to move. I talk to so many people approaching retirement who feel torn. They want something more manageable, but the thought of leaving family and friends keeps them stuck until something major happens. I've worked with retirees who stayed in place until their home was broken into, or a nearby break-in rattled them, and suddenly the thing that once held them back no longer matters. Safety became the priority. For others, it's much simpler, but just as impactful. They're out on a familiar hiking trail with their grandkids, and they're suddenly seeing drug paraphernalia lining the path. That shakes your resolve. And then there's another incredibly common trend: family-driven moves. Their grown kids can't afford a safe neighborhood or a good public school in their current state, so the family decides to move as a unit. Sometimes the grandparents move first, knowing the kids will follow. Sometimes the kids are already here and the grandparents move to join them. Boise makes that multi-generational move extraordinarily smooth because of its safety, its values, affordability, and ease of lifestyle. One of my absolute favorite things is when a family moves here and I get photos of the grandparents at local fairs and festivals or concerts, floating the Boise River, hiking the many trails we have, all with their grandkids. Nothing is hard to access. Nothing takes a full day to get to. I know when I lived in LA, taking my kids and my parents somewhere was an entire production. There was traffic and parking and crowds and the cost. Here, everything is just simple, and that simplicity is priceless. So reason number three people move would be outdoor recreation, and wellness is part of everyday life. One of the biggest reasons retirees fall in love with Boise is how easy it is to live an active lifestyle here. You have immediate access to miles of hiking and biking trails, golf courses, fishing, kayaking, parks, plus 4 true seasons without the extreme weather some states face. Spring blooms, warm summers, crisp fall colors, and snowy mountain views make the Treasure Valley beautiful year-round. And one thing I always tell clients is this: you can walk the Boise River Greenbelt in the morning and be downtown for coffee right after. It's that blend of nature and convenience that makes Boise such a perfect match for retirees. By the way, if you're new to my channel, hi, I'm Erica Toffel, Global Real Estate Advisor with Group 1 Sotheby's International Realty. I specialize in helping you relocate to Boise, Idaho, and the greater Treasure Valley in whatever stage you're in. If you're thinking of making the move, send me a text, write me an email, or give me a call. My information is on the screen. And please be sure to like, subscribe, and hit the bell so you get notified every time I drop a new video. And if you're watching on your television screen, you can scan the QR code to contact me directly. And for more daily content on what's going on in the Treasure Valley, check out my Instagram at Erica Toffel Real Estate. Reason number four people move to Boise, well, healthcare and accessibility. Healthcare becomes one of the most important factors when choosing where to retire. And I know this firsthand because of my own family. Boise is home to a strong medical system like St. Luke's and St. Alphonsus, but we have excellent independent facilities and primary care clinics across the valley to support ongoing care. As my parents have aged, we've needed specialists and imaging and emergency care and other services, and the accessibility here is night and day compared to what we experienced in California. Doctors here have been engaged and communicative and genuinely caring, and when we've needed emergency care, our wait times have been minimal. Meanwhile, I talked to family members still in California who have waited 8 to 12 hours in emergency rooms before being seen. That's just unreasonable. The ease of accessing healthcare here is a huge benefit for retirees. retirees. Reason number 5 people move to Boise is diverse real estate options that fit every version of retirement. One thing that surprises a lot of people is how varied retirees' housing preferences are. Some want a lock and leave lifestyle because they plan to fill their next chapter with travel or hobbies. Others see their move to Idaho as the chance to finally have land and space or even a small hobby farm. You cannot put retirees into one category. Everyone's dream is different. And while Eagle and Meridian and Boise are the cities you hear about the most, many retirees prefer being farther out so they can enjoy more space, more quiet and a slower pace. The only conversation we always have is how quickly we can get to emergency services if needed. As long as we can stay within 25 to 30 minutes from a hospital, those areas stay on the list. From low maintenance communities to new construction, single level living, acreage properties, and everything in between, the Treasure Valley has options that fit nearly every retirement lifestyle. And before we wrap up, I'd love to know, could you see yourself retiring somewhere like Boise, where you get the outdoors, the calm, the community, and still have great amenities? Or would you prefer to be closer to the coast or a bigger city? Let me know in the comments. I always love hearing from you. For more real estate insight and relocation tips to Boise and the entire Treasure Valley, make sure to check out one of the other videos on your screen. Thanks so much for watching, and I will see you on the next one.